Contracts. The contracts section is the place where your team creates, manages and updates contracts, adds integrations with vendors, and sets up fees and limits for operations. The settings you define for particular operations can then be grouped as a price plan for the clients. We start with the Providers section that contains the data on commissions earned from all third-party services integrated into your Neobank. You can filter by the period, type of commission, applicable cohort and segment. Add some additional parameters by clicking here. The Providers list shows active providers you've integrated into your bank, and the information about how many clients use them and the revenue they generate for the platform. Going into detail, you can monitor the revenue from the commission brought in by this provider in the day-to-day visualization. You can disable the provider if needed. However, keep in mind this can affect any contracts you have with them. One provider may offer specific services, and that can also be more than one. In the services list, we see the products of the provider you offer in the integration. We see the percent of the users using the service with total earnings, the number of transactions, and the status of a current service on the platform. Going into the details, we see the commission you earned from this service in a day-to-day chart. You can filter the commission systems earned, paid, and general turnover. When you issue new commissions, the revenue must exceed the expenses, so you can pay the vendor his fee back. Here you can look through all commissions for this service in the system, the current one, those pending, those that will kick in, and a history of expired commissions. You can edit the pending commissions, but not the old or active ones. Set the threshold of units you want to reach to activate commission payments. That can be a fixed fee, a percentage, or a combination. What is also important is that you can set the range of the units that can be commissioned. For example, in this commission, consuming the service from 5 to 10 units will be commissioned by a fixed charge or a percentage. You can define more ranges with commission for each. This way, it's easy to manage the demand and client behavior to fit your needs. You can diversify the commission by adding limits to it. For example, limit the frequency or the volumes of the operations. You can make more flexible commission settings for your services. We use the same settings as shown here to shape the pricing for various operations introduced in the Neobank product. When you want to stop providing this service to your customers, click Temporarily Disable Service. You will always be able to launch it back later. You can also create a commission for a service here. The setting form is the same as we showed before. However, you need to choose a particular service first. Payment gateways. Obviously, your clients need to bring their money into your Neobank ecosystem. They do it with the transactions via the most popular payment gateways. Integrate them to make the process easier for your clients. This dashboard shows you the commissions from the transactions your clients perform via these payment systems. Monitor them via the same filters you use for service providers analysis. In the Payment Gateways list, you can monitor the integrated payment providers and their performance by the same common metrics. Going into the details about the Visa Gateway, you see the types of payments done specifically via this vendor. You can manage these operations by adding commissions to this or that type of payment. For example, here is the commission for the payments up to $99. For these ATM payments, you will pay 1% and 2.75% of the sum to the provider. If you want to change the fees and limits, go to the Edit Operations Commissions and Limits to set them up in the same way you do for the service providers. You can also use a Create Operation Commission button to add a new one. Choose the type of payment gateway you want to work with, go through the fees and limits setup, and approve a new commission. The Internal Operations subsection reflects the information about your total revenue from the operations within your Neobank ecosystem. An Internal Operations list shows the available services you can provide for your Neobank clients within the inner core bank functionality. To work with currency exchange, you need to register a new currency in your bank. Go to Currencies, where you will see all currencies presented in your Neobank. Here is the additional info about each of them. Click Details. The currencies may be for real or those you create on your own, like an internal bonus system or some other alternative. To create and add a new currency to the system, name it, add the currency code and the symbol. Now you need the exchange rate info, which can be set up in the exchange rate subsection. An external feed allows you to see the currencies that you work with by updating the exchange rate automatically. The sync log from the issuer will update regularly. Refresh the exchange rate manually if needed. Here you set the feed up. A manual exchange list is a place where you set the exchange rate on your own as well as update it. It works great for bonus points where you set the rate they trade for real money. You can also create an exchange pair once you introduce a new currency. A currency exchange list allows you to monitor open exchange pairs and activate them when needed. That's all for the currency section. Knowing how we add a new currency into the system, let's look into the currency exchange terms. The dashboard shows what is the revenue from commissions and overall exchange dynamics. The currency exchange list reflects possible currency exchange variance with info about the pair's performance for a certain period. You should also set the commission for currency exchange between you and the currency provider. In the individual contracts, we go to the currency exchange subsection and go into the details about the exchange pair. Then we see a current plus-minus commission for exchange. You set it up as an ordinary commission, but instead of limits, you reconcile the commission by adding the percentage to the exchange rate when the Neobank client is buying, and the opposite when he's selling. Contracts are the combination of your commissions for services, exchanges, operations and gateways. After setting them all up, you can create and manage contracts. You will see the overall income from the contracts introduced in the system with segmentation for each of them. You can create a contract naming it New Contract. Pick the providers, gateways, operations, currencies to exchange. In the Prices section, you set the term of the contract usage for the Neobank clients. You can set the fee for the price plan usage by the clients and charge it monthly or annually. Plus, the plan can be free of charge if needed, and add the benefits your clients can get from the price plan. Once done, go to the Approve section, check the commissions introduced as benefits for the particular services, pick the issue data, and launch the contract. In the Contract section Overview, you can see the number of people assigned to the contracts and an overview of the contracts in the day-by-day dynamics. You can also create a new contract right from here.